On the bus going round and round. Got the wheels on the bus going round and round. Yeah, wheels going round and round. Yeah, and we rolling through your town. Yeah, hey, round and round and round and.
Good morning. Welcome into the newest edition of the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bacon Dudley. We are your first, your only source for mediocre, below average sports content. Man, we're glad you're here with us this morning. We are in here on this Wednesday morning, so you are getting this one. When you get it on Wednesday, it is fresh, hot out the press. You're going to get it as it comes. No time to edit. Coming in as it is. So we do appreciate your support. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Got a lot to talk about today. Trade deadline. The Olympics are underway. A lot going on there. So make sure you tune in with us. We've got a lot to talk about. But before we dive in, we got to get the rest of the crew brought in. And believe it or not, y'all, he's here. He's back again, sitting to my left. He had a cup of coffee in the Marines. They call him Short Story Long. Survives daily off of 5-hour energy shots. He is the few. He is the proud. Very few are proud, but we are. I'm talking about the bear, Mitch Lawhorn.
Good morning, fellas.
Hey, buddy.
You're not hyped this morning. I need to build it. You need to build it up.
He was saving that for me.
This next intro.
I hype up as the people get more important for the show.
Oh, that's Charlie.
So sitting to my right, he is a UGA graduate. He's a diehard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stink. He's got Invisalign in, but they still look like he bit a brick. He's the one, the only pride of Buddy Johnson Road. Stop what you're doing. Put your car in park. Stand up. Put your hands together for the one, the only Adam Hightower.
Wow, thank you, Jill. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You like that, Law? Is that better?
That's better, a little better.
You wish yours was like that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bud.
I love to see people standing up in their cars.
Get out. Stand
Pull
up.
over side the road. My uncle used to pull, when every now and then you ride by on the interstate, you'll ride by a big like caravan of military vehicles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My uncle used to pull over and salute them.
Because that was for you.
Huh?
He did that for you and
I think
Jamie.
he just did it as like funny, trying to be funny.
Patriotism is hilarious.
No, I mean
He's standing. So look at these
because
clowns going by.
he always got back in the truck or vehicle laughing. So I was like,
and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what drove Law to be a Marine.
No, I think he was trying to piss off my aunt. So
Did it work?
Yeah, always. What are you doing? You're so stupid.
What if they were in a big hurry, and he's like, "No, we can't move. I got to do this.
Got to get
It's
this
like,
done."
I noticed I passed like a couple funerals not too long ago. You notice people don't really pull over for funerals that much anymore?
I was literally just thinking that. I do every time.
I do too.
I still do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it?
Well, hold on. He said he passed a couple funerals, so he's one of those.
No. People passed.
Oh.
I pulled over and people kept going, and like I mean, even after like they're in the middle of the caravan, the old funeral caravan, done past the hearse.
You seem like to me.
Going.
You seem like to me one of those guys though that sees a funeral. If you're going in that direction, you hop in with them and turn your flashers on just to get
Turn my lights on.
so you don't have to pull over.
You don't cut your flashers on. You just cut your lights on.
He called it a hearse.
That's what it's called, isn't it? What's it called?
I thought it was a hearse.
Hearse. Is it Hurst?
That's good. I've always said Hearst, like with a
Hearst.
T, I think.
That's what I said.
Look it up.
What'd you say it was called?
Hearse. I didn't think there was a T in
on the end.
How would you even spell that? It's
Like
not-
Jeanettes.
What?
We got a lot of Jeanettes around here.
No, you're right, Hyde. Should have known.
Surprise, surprise.
There's no T?
Hearse, Hearse.
Like a reef. Like a reef you hang out for Christmas time.
Like a reef. That's right, just like a reef.
My sister-in-law gives me a hard time about it.
Just a little current event here.
Hold on, before we do that, I got a question about the funerals.
Okay, go ahead.
How many lanes, if it's 4-lane, do you still pull over? Is it still protocol to pull over?
Yeah, I've been on that before. I mean, not the interstate, obviously, but
Unless
you pull over on the interstate?
I don't think I've ever seen one on the interstate.
I don't think I've ever seen a funeral.
I have been near the interstate and seen people pull over that year that oh man,
Chris Kyle?
no, well that
when
too.
a cop died.
Not the kid, man. His mind's just right. Dustin Wright from Lines, you remember?
Yep.
The Army guy, the guy.
We
kid
passed a thing one time. It was a bunch of truckers doing like a caravan, like to something.
Convoy.
I've seen bikers.
Well, no,
that do
they were
that,
going
too.
to like Washington D.C. Like all truckers going to, or they were going somewhere, and like people were on the bridges over the interstate, and like had flags and stuff.
Were they running interference for Smokey?
No. That's what that's
excuse me,
the
for the
movie.
bandit, I'm
that-
sorry, excuse me,
Yeah,
for the
y'all get me
bandit.
sidetracked
For the
on
bandit, not
my
Smokey.
ADD, but that's a movie they need to redo.
Smokey and the
Bandit.
Bandit.
Yeah, I mean the original's great, but they redo. You know they redo old
Corey,
movies all the time.
Corey Hobbs could be the bandit. I've seen him as Halloween.
So,
dressed up as a
who's
bandit.
playing Bert? What actor you got filling that role? Current actor.
Well, Whitney Hobbs did it at Halloween pretty well too. So
You played Bert.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I want to be the trucker. I want to be Smokey. No, Smokey was the cop.
Is Law invited
Yeah.
to the Halloween party this year?
yeah,
Well-
he was invited last time.
What
Just
was
never
the
comes.
What was the trucker's name?
I got nothing on that.
Snowman? Was it Snowman?
Snowman. Yeah,
Snowman.
Good sidetrack. All right, hi. Sorry, what were you about to say?
I forgot.
Come on, circle back. Gotta have you.
Can't
Current
remember.
event.
I didn't come to the Halloween party.
No,
When's the cooking competition?
October 5th.
Shirts on sale now.
Yeah, $45 a shirt.
This is Jay sent out the shirts yesterday, which I do like. These are the best looking ones so far to me. I mean, same logo, same design, but different color scheme for the white trash bash, and price went up, I believe.
Yeah, it did for sure.
And so we said, you know, this is Jay's annual fundraiser. He claims that he's not making $1. He's literally just covering the cost, but we know
That's a lie.
Pulling at him.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm up front whenever I'm trying to make money. Well, listen, I'm making money off this, and I've bought enough T-shirts from people to know it's not a $45 shirt.
Hey, with the big ugly shirts, we got every color you can get on that thing, and they wasn't even that much.
So, I'm gonna
All
tell
right,
you what.
current event, what you got?
Oh, let's go to the trade deadline.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep. So,
so we're gonna talk sports today.
unfortunate.
It just
So it ended last night.
It just make it. I hate the Dodgers. I hate the Dodgers. They have a bottomless payroll, and they picked up Jack Flaherty, and they just things never seem to go wrong for them.
They were. That was one of the headlines on ESPN this morning when I looked on, and it's got the biggest ESPN Plus, biggest winner, biggest winners, and the biggest losers. The biggest winner, Dodgers. Yep.
Really?
It said it gets
Yankees
a little
did pretty good too.
It said it gets a little old to pick the Dodgers as winners in yet another transaction period, but a haul of veterans, including, I didn't realize they got all these people. I mean, some of them are washed up, but all at once good players. Jack Flaherty, who is not washed up, like you said, Tommy Edman, Ahmed Rosario, Michael Kopech, and Kevin Kiermaier. All those come in on the deadline. Now, that is the biggest winner. You scroll down to the very next headline, it says biggest loser.
I think Marlins traded their whole outfit.
Biggest losers, Atlanta Braves.
What?
Yep. According
I
to
like
this guy.
Soler. I like
said
Soler.
now this is obviously
Well,
this-
I think he's hitting 240 with 12 homers.
Dude, this
Yeah.
was
he was
MVP.
No doubt MVP
He had a
for
good
us.
series,
Right.
in the World Series, but he hasn't done much.
we
since
only
then.
picked him up for the right before that.
Yeah,
But here we are on this.
I hate
It's
Luke
an upgrade. It is an upgrade, I believe, from what we currently have.
Luke
It's
Jackson
not-
canceled him out.
It's not the splash that we wanted, and that's what this guy was saying. He said he felt like we needed another arm
Yeah.
in the starting lineup, considering Lopez, Fried, all those guys, kind of a little bit of injuries they're having, and he just said he's not sure if Soler was the answer out there. But the Braves, Opie said last night they're about to get hot. He's calling it. They've cut it to 7.5. I think that's the lowest it's been in quite some time. They've been around 9.5, 8.5
Yeah,
back.
it's September.
So
We said
there's one thing I do enjoy about Soler, though. He's going to hit 240. Those 12 bombs, they go a long way. He's hit the longest home run in the league this year.
has it? I figured
It was 483
Fried
feet.
and Lopez
Ozuna-
are supposed to be
Ozuna
back
has one, too.
within the next couple weeks.
That'll be
Oh,
nice.
really?
Yep. And I mean, losing Albie's hurt. Got that boy Nacho out there battling a little bit.
Nacho.
Nacho.
So
What about
do
the
you-
Yanks? Oh, Chisholm.
Yeah,
That
Jazz
was a big
to the
pickup too.
Yankees.
Here's a couple teams. I'm not going to go into all of it, but this is just this guy again because it ended last night. I hadn't really paid attention to it. Other winners, he's got Arizona Diamondbacks, Baltimore Orioles, Cincinnati Reds, Colorado Rockies, Kansas City Royals. He's even got the Marlins on
He
here.
said the biggest loser was I figured the Marlins was the biggest loser.
Well, they
'Cause
got
they traded like their whole
yeah,
outfit.
but they got prospects.
They had a more prospect value at the deadline. Yep.
You know, Charlie Condon went to the Rockies.
How many tanks is he gonna hit out here?
So many. Number 3 overall pick.
That ball pops.
My daughter Anna and her guy friend, boyfriend.
That's what
They
you
went.
meant.
They went
That's
to
what his guy friend.
So she went on vacation with her boyfriend and her family, their family out in Colorado. Lloyd, I believe he used to listen. I don't know if he listens anymore. Board member Tony Johnson.
Shout out, Mr. Johnson.
So Tony,
She's dating Cooper.
yeah,
Coop.
little Coop.
Man, vacation to Colorado. That's nice.
She made a funny joke. Here's a funny joke. So Tony called and said, "Well, I grew up with you. Be our fan." It goes with, "I'll look after her." I said, just letting you know, now I can't afford no plane ticket. And I know you flying first class, big money, but Tony said, "I got it, man. We invited her. I got it." I said, "Well, shoot, me and Haley want to go too." But they went to Colorado Rockies game once they were out there, and it was the extra. It was the extra innings game. They played like 12 innings. So
Free baseball.
yeah, a lot of free baseball.
Are they
So
back
we
yet?
watched the whole game. I learned real quick. I don't really like watching any baseball unless the Braves are playing.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And so the only time we were just looking in the stands to see if we'd see Anna on TV because they sat like right behind the dugout. And it was like very end of the game last inning. And it's just a glimpse. I had to pause it, rewind it, and finally Haley took a blurry picture of her. It's like, what saw you?
But it's her for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely her.
Some brown-headed girl that kind of looks like her.
Not many people Hike can relate to being on TV. It's arguably one of the biggest times in Atlanta Braves history.
That's right.
Like me and Hike.
Y'all was on TV?
On the
Where we?
at the
Multiple times.
ring presentation after the World Series.
That's when y'all the bobbleheads. He got you
That's
into buying a
different.
bobblehead.
No, this is the
That's when he
game.
peed on you.
This is the game that it was. It
No,
felt like
that
it
was a
was
different one.
Felt like it was. I forgot about that. Felt like it was 20 degrees in there in the stadium, and Hike came in sweating because he had to run a mile to get there. And as Hike's getting there, the ring ceremony is literally starting as he does it, and you
That
just
would have
see
been a good one to go to.
Oh, it was awesome. We got the replica ring
Right there.
They did it at the beginning of the game.
for all of y'all that can see that right there. The glisten of the A right
Does
there.
it open?
No.
Those
We leave that.
it was not a real replica then.
It was a free replica, is what it was, and it's heavy. It's here. Get you
Let me see
copy a feel of it.
if it'll fit on my finger.
Oh, it will not. Not.
Yeah. Oh no, never mind.
It wouldn't even fit on my little finger.
So another thing I wanted to discuss.
If we ever win state in wrestling again, I'm gonna get one like this, gold, and
I can get that one. You can get that one for about $10. So.
that thing look real. Boy.
What about University of Georgia?
Go Dogs.
Okay.
They starting fall camp
Well, the thing I wanted to bring
this
up.
week, ain't it?
No, the thing I wanted to bring up was.
Answer that question, then bring up what you got to bring up.
I don't know. Yes.
I think they're
Okay.
Is that good enough?
I read an article yesterday from MSN.com. The article was not very well written, and I feel like it was kind of fabricated, but it said fans are calling for Kirby Smart to resign
because
Due to the arrest
discipline
and stuff?
problems.
because of the the legal troubles of the players. And so then I was like, well, I don't think I've heard anybody say they want him to resign.
I think that we see our legal troubles, that we see it nationwide, right, and stuff like that, and that we don't see a whole lot of other colleges. It's because they may hold them accountable. They're not sweeping it under the rug. I think Kirby's doing his job.
Ed said it's the police in Athens. They're terrible. They all need to be fired. That's what he said.
The police in Athens are definitely out to get a dog.
They are,
They show well.
But let's be honest. If we can be honest, I care about the young men playing for Georgia and their future. But am I willing to sacrifice some arrests as long as Kirby's winning some games?
Yeah. Well, everybody.
I heard a story. I'm not going to bring up any names. I heard a story of a high school coach. A guy worked for a high school coach, and he was having some major discipline problems in his classroom. Younger, new hire, new teacher right out of college, just having some major. So he went to the head coach and was like, "I'd like you to discipline these kids because the administration won't do anything to them." He said, "It's because I told them not to." He said, "You want to win? He said, or do you want to discipline them kids?
That sounds like a Rush Approach thing.
He said, I want to discipline those kids. He said, it's every day. Like getting cussed out in the classroom by the kids. He said, well, then you don't need to be on this staff.
Yikes.
He said he worked 1 year there. He was out. I don't bring no names up.
So anyway.
Sorry.
No. You're right on topic there.
Surprisingly.
That's rare. That is rare that he's right on topic.
I prefer to hold my standard, my morals. Like I don't want a guilty conscience here. You know what? I let that kid slide by. It's going to gradually get worse.
Yeah. But you are a guy that
you're not teaching.
You are a guy that trains morals.
Exactly.
The traffic things. You know, kids are notoriously not. You know, they're not mature. They do stupid things. So guys, you know, we have a kind of a tendency or. You know, I don't. What's the word I'm searching for? Young guys are notorious for doing stupid things. I guess is what I was trying to say.
Right.
And then you throw in the fact that now they're getting that NIL money, and they have, you know, everybody's
nice
fast vehicles.
They're at the best school. I mean, they're at the top school in the country. So they're the people.
So it's just gonna stuff like that, unfortunately, is going to happen, and I don't think that it comes down to Kirby Smart doing a bad job. I just can't. You got 85 scholarship players, I think, isn't that right?
Right.
You can
100 on the team, 100 plus for sure.
Till you're blue in the face, tell people you can mentor people, you can teach them this and show them all the numbers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, people are going to go out and be on their own, and you can't.
Well, does Georgia do this? I remember at Southern when I was there for my little short stint. Underclassmen have to stay in the underclass athletes stay in the athletic dorm, and they can't drive.
I don't think so. I don't think they do.
Georgia Southern underclassmen used to have to stay in the athletic dorm. Football players had to stay in the athletic dorm. And they were not allowed to drive.
Now, not only can they drive, they probably give them something to drive.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. I don't know if y'all want to on the other side, but it is time for our first commercial break. We are very grateful for all of our sponsors that we have, so make sure you listen to them and pay them a visit. So we'll be right back on the other side to discuss a little more of that and talk about some of the Olympic games going on. So y'all stay with us. We'll be right back.
New year, new financial goals? Whether it's saving, investing, or planning for the future, we've got your back. Visit Bank of Dudley today, and let's make 2024 your year for financial success. Bank with confidence at Bank of Dudley. Since 1905, member FDIC.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
J2 Streaming Services. With over 9,000 live channels and packages starting at $15 per month, you literally can't beat it. Visit them on the web at www.j2streaming.com. Proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show.
For all your HVAC needs, please call Elite Comfort Solutions. We specialize in commercial and residential HVAC. The number is 833-483-HVAC, and the website is www.elitecomfortsolutions-inc.com. Call for a free quote today.
Big Peach Car Wash, coming this April, across from Walmart on Highway 80. I hadn't washed my truck in 5 years. I'm breaking that streak this April.
Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. We're here for segment 2. Just finished talking a little trade deadline, a little UGA football.
Speaking of Bank of Dudley, Justin White, Cruz, I mean, them jokers brought us some breakfast yesterday.
Man, how good was it?
What?
Yeah,
Yes,
I think we're getting ours tomorrow.
Hand delivered.
No.
I mean, those are important people, too.
really, the face of Bank of Dudley was out there delivering our breakfast.
Man of the people.
Golly. It was amazing to see him
Some of the better biscuits I've ever had, too. I only had one. I wanted to, but now that I'm in a different role, I had to just get one.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you was on the high school roll, you would get 2 or 3.
Speaking of him with a different role,
I love that.
I've never been big-timed as bad and as frequently as I've been big-timed. And the thing is, he told me he wasn't going to do that to me.
Yeah.
But, he was going. Before I even had to report back to work, he was going to look in my classroom.
Just surveying the land.
And he saw something on my bulletin board. And
What was it?
Told you to take it down.
No, it's a sign that had all these 5 words that start with the letter P, and it's like positive, productive, punctual, whatever.
This guy said, "Oh,
And anyway, he texted me and he said, "Man, I really like that. What are they?"
Punk.
He was checking to see if I knew them. I was like, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about."
I said, hi, what are the 5 Ps? He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "They're in your room." He's like, "I don't know."
So then I hit him with the 5 Ds of dodgeball: duck, dive, dodge, dip, and dot whatever.
He repeats one of them twice.
Dodge, yeah.
Dodging.
So then, anyway, which that's fine, whatever. We get there. First day, he comes up, hey, and he puts his hand on my shoulder, like like he's my grandpa or something, And he's like, "Hey, have you
mentor you
have you had a chance to go look and see what those 5 Ps were?" And I was like, "No, I'm not going to." He said,
"No, sir."
He says, "Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna give you a little homework." Then he puts his hands on both hips, one on each hip. "I'm gonna give you a little homework. Why don't you go check it out and email me and tell me what you find out?"
That sounds like some Jamie Lowhorn.
You can believe all that story if you want to. That was
Chuck. That's 100% accurate.
There's so many details added to that to sway it in a different light.
That's 100% accurate. Okay. Now,
wait
then
till he
yesterday,
observes you and drop some ones on your observation.
Then yesterday.
Well, before you go into yesterday, because is this about the drinks? Because
no, it's not about
yesterday morning we're getting breakfast, so I have to go down to the school store to get some of the Coke products put on the table. Height sees me struggling. My left bicep's about to cave. I mean,
it's a baby bicep.
It is.
It is a baby.
Yeah, there's not a lot there, and I've got 4 cases trying to total.
They're not cases.
That's a- well, I thought that
4 12 packs.
Assistant principals walk a lot. Maybe you'll drop some of that poundage.
But Height's just looking at me with his cup of coffee in his hand. Instead of helping me, he gets his phone out and take a picture of me.
Here's the thing. I'm a grown up. I've carried more than.
It's not my job.
What it is 2 cases.
It was,
It's 2 cases.
but hold on, 2 cases are a lot easier to
That's
tote.
because I don't understand. I have children that are under the age of 10 that could carry what you carried yesterday.
That's that typical teacher, though.
You mean to
that's
tell me-
been doing it for a long time, and then like you ask them to do something, and they're like,
Yeah, let's turn this on Height.
"It's not my job."
Yeah, that's right. Let's turn it on Height.
I'd like to go back to chill, and like we were discussing this yesterday. Would you? He probably was doing that because he's not chill. So his nickname is like an oxymoron. It's the opposite.
You started that yesterday. You put me in a bad mood.
I didn't. I was on the way here. I was on interstate on the way here when I received messages.
Well, the new protocols in order. No,
that's not-
I
that's not
quit.
true.
I'm never doing the show again.
No, you did not get it when you were on interstate.
We were
You got
texting
it
at
before
4.
you were
No, I
away.
didn't.
We were
I got
texting
it on the interstate.
We were texting at 4:40.
When I text.
See, here,
I
this
said,
is
I'm
why
on the way. I'm on
anyway,
interstate.
This is where you lose his credibility.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's factual.
no, it's not.
Call Haley and ask her because I text Haley and I said, "These mugs, I'm on during interstate on the way there, and these mugs canceling ain't going." He said, "Hot went back to bed. I'm never doing the show again." I screenshotted your message and sent it to Haley. She was very disappointed in you.
I'm sorry, Haley. Mitch,
She said, "You're
I'm
never
sure-
getting breakfast." She'll bring a breakfast, but
I'm sure
she was
you've
never
made
getting-
Haley feel some type of way like that before. But you know what's crazy about these texts? You mean tell you what's crazy about them? They're timestamped, so you can look at when that actually came through, and it was not when you were on the interstate.
I did. I might have been 5 minutes late, but I was on the interstate. I was on the way here.
Okay.
I was in the freaking shower when
Okay.
y'all two going back and forth.
Okay.
And none of the messages say, "I'm getting back into bed."
Anyway,
Moving on.
So y'all are in a separate message.
So-
and y'all are bashing me in
Hey.
another group message.
Go ahead, I got him. I'm
he
muted.
drags us down sometimes. Sometimes you lift us up, but other times you drag us down.
It's not true.
So
It's not true since he muted me.
So anyway, I didn't sign up for a leadership position, so don't expect me to.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
to
I just
do
thought
that.
you
That's
would
your
help.
job.
As a friend, that's what I thought.
That was not a significant number of drinks.
Okay.
You just didn't stack it properly. That's on you.
Moving on.
So anyway, then we had a meeting. We had a meeting that we were supposed to, and I was supposed to bring a little blue card that I was supposed to fill out. Well, I don't even remember them giving me one.
There were 2 things he was supposed to bring, and he
He
came
didn't
in.
help you, and he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
He shows up empty-handed. There was 2 items that our principal asked him to bring to the meeting, and he shows up with neither.
But you know what? I got to the meeting early to find
You
out
did.
what I needed because I couldn't remember. So I went down there and I said, "What am I supposed to bring?" And so then I went back to get the one thing from my room and the other I needed one from them. He said, and now the other administrators are in there now, and he goes, well, where's yours? I said, yeah. And like he starts like change his tone, like volume goes up.
Professional tone?
Very high pitched. Was it high pitched?
No, not quite. But where's your? And I told him, I said, well, I don't have one. I never got one. And then he goes again, hands on hips, and says, well, why not? And then I see him look at Reed, our principal.
Oh my gosh!
And it's
I should slacker.
And I have to get Mr. Waldrop on the show with us to clarify this.
I said, Chuck, keep on now, keep on.
I can tell by the way you grinning.
That's good stuff.
That was not completely accurate once again.
I feel like it was a lot accurate. It's not like something.
Yes,
it's not like something you would do. He does try to big time you in front of other people, don't he?
Yeah.
He does that. Man, I notice when Jelly comes around, they might try to big time me in front.
But you know what I have enjoyed though a lot is him being there, like because he's one of my best buddies.
Even though I big time him.
Yeah, well, I forgive you.
Well,
I'm a
just
forgiver.
around certain people.
I'm a big forgiver.
Like if you think Height's the most important person in the room, like you do now, you try to big time me. But
it's a great strategy.
Let's say if Jelly or Jay was in here, it'd be you and Jay big time and Height.
Yeah,
that's fair. And so I was around administration. It was time to big time Height.
You're too fast.
I did hear some people chanting, "We want Garrett Cannon as our assistant principal."
I told him when Mr. Waldrop was talking to him on the phone yesterday, or day before yesterday. No, yesterday. I told him, I said, Garrett, you won't believe this. I said, what? He said, what? I said, when I got up to speak at the opening of the staff meeting, I heard people in the back chant, "We want Cannon. We want Cannon." Height was leading that chant.
Oh, it's like a Joe Biden.
I love it. Anytime Chuck looks at me, I'm just trying to get him to laugh while he's up there.
That's why I don't look at him. Because I have been, when me and Height worked at Toombs, I have been on the other side of that where it's gotten real uncomfortable because the Height we've been in staff meetings when me and him are just peons in there, just low men on the totem pole, immature already, everybody knows that. And I got his tickle box going and he's trying not to laugh, but he can't not laugh without being loud. Dude, that jump was so embarrassing. I wanted to crawl. I was sitting right beside him too, and people were turning around looking. And Height, you can just hear, like you can hear him doing that the whole time.
Face is red. I'm pouring sweat.
And you won't believe.
Sounds about right.
You won't believe the words that it did. And this happened. This went on for like a year, to where it was one comment that did I say it? I guess.
Yeah, it was you
about a guy. It was stupid. This is how stupid it was. We were sitting in a meeting, and I said, something about if he sneezed, like,
what if somebody sneezed and pooted at the same time in the meeting?
In the quiet meeting, and he lost. Like, I'm talking, got beside himself. So then every time we'd have something important, like somebody would say something like sneeze poop, and he's gone again.
and it got to the point where like I had to move. I would never want to sit because I thought I was going to get in trouble, and I didn't want to laugh, but I couldn't help it.
And you laughing and you just pointed at him.
Yeah,
it's his fault.
And so
he's red faced, like it's.
And what he would want to do, he would follow me around anywhere I was. He would sit beside me, and then he would try to get me laughing,
and then walk off.
No, because he can keep a straight face really well, and I can't. And he would do it when we were at West High too. And I was like, I just can't sit beside you. And so then he'd try to get my attention from.
And you're an administrator.
That was prior.
That's when you were young.
We may circle back to
that's before. That's before you became the oppo of chill.
That was years ago. Years ago.
Decades almost.
Now he's just the most serious.
He is. After reading those messages yesterday, very serious.
Very serious.
He's a great leader.
Definitely
great leader.
Definitely not chill.
All right, moving on. We got a break coming up in a minute, but let's dive in a little bit to the Olympics. So I've got the Olympic count pulled up.
I got a question.
You go ahead, Law.
It was about the Olympics. It was okay. We were in a meeting yesterday, and the guy said,
"At least you're on topic.
What's your favorite? Like the one thing you just can't miss in the Olympics, in the Summer Olympics?"
Mine is women's gymnastics. Because we're good, I think it's because we're good. Like,
but even in years when you wasn't real sure if we were good,
yeah,
you still watch us. That was my go-to too. When I told him, I said, and he said, "Why women's gymnastics, not men's?" I was like, "My mama used to watch it, and I remember when the Olympics, we didn't give it like 3 stations, and every night we was watching." And that was one of the things that aired. Like I remember Mary Lou Retton.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
So it was a big deal.
And this is crazy. I was going to say the same because
one
of
heartbeat here.
That kind of stuff. But then also when I went to college at Georgia, The Gym Dog.
Gym
Yeah,
Dog.
yeah, yeah.
You used to hang out with
Yeah.
him?
Well, no, never hung out with him.
I went to a party. No. I went to a party with, years ago before I joined the Marine Corps. And Chad Jump and them lived in Athens, and several of the Gym Dogs came to a party over there.
Whitney Hobbs was up there at Georgia the same time I was, and she and I would go watch Gym Dogs all the time.
Elite.
Man, they were good.
Dude,
So-
huge legs. Like, it's just
It's
muscle.
amazing to me what those people can do.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the balance beam and all them. It's just.
We were at the house the other day. The thing that they do that looks almost the most simple, they do it on the balance beam. It looks harder, but they do it in the floor routine too, where they squat on one leg and spin around, with their leg out. Like they'll take almost a knee and spin around. Dude,
You tried it?
Shelby did. That
Nah.
joint's hilarious.
Did she really?
Her knee
Yes.
blow out.
You should have been.
When you get that, she's like, she knew it was hard, but when you get down in that position, like you feel like you can't even
I'm
you
gonna
just
ask her
fall
about it.
down.
I'm
You
gonna
just
ask her
fall
about
down.
it. School today.
So, but yeah, so the women's gymnastics, obviously they're elite. It looks, I can't imagine, especially on the beam or whatever they do. But I did watch some of the men's the other day. The pommel horse
Did you see the
and the
little short
rings.
dude that couldn't get up on the rings? He kept jumping up to get up on the rings.
Had to
Somebody
jump
had
up.
to go out here. And,
But what they do when they get up there is insane. It's insane.
It is.
And then
I like
the USA had
the two bars. Is it
the uneven.
You
bars.
remember on
uneven.
you
Yeah.
remember on Old School where Vince
Yes.
Vaughn he gets in the ring with a cigarette,
Who to remind you of?
Law
Stop.
with the cigarette, not with the dexterity
Dude, I got
and
it.
whatnot.
I could do that right now.
No,
Just
zero
hold my-
chance.
I'd be shaking like he was in that.
Zero
movie.
chance.
I could do it right now.
What was he saying? Hold.
Oh.
Oh, that reminds me. Opie owes me $20.
And Eddie Floyd's never seen that movie, so
Yeah, we talked about it. It came up yesterday. Eddie
He's
Floyd.
never seen
Old School.
Old School.
that's what we said.
And you know what he
man,
said?
we didn't.
You won't believe this, man. We didn't have no antenna. And that's the way he said
So
it. We
is-
didn't have no antenna until I was about 20 years old.
Leslie Hall is y'all's new counselor, right?
Correct.
Did she get that
Yeah.
job?
Yep.
Ask her today when y'all go to school today. We went in Athens before she married our buddy Brian, her current husband.
Yeah.
We watched Old School at the theater in Athens. It's the first time I ever been to a theater that you went into and then walked up to your seats. It was cool. It was like a amphitheater. But we watched Old School.
Great
I
movie.
laughed that whole movie like almost. I didn't want to get up to go to the bathroom. I had to pee so bad. I almost peed on myself. It was the funniest movie I've
It is
ever.
an all-time
movie.
great.
So I think it was raining one Sunday. or
Anytime it
Saturday.
comes on, like if I'm flipping through and I see it, I'm watching it.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, it's
same.
so good.
The USA. The funny thing about the men
Mitchell
though, the USA had all these dudes. They're obviously shredded. Like they're just their arms, especially, are huge. And then we've got this one guy that wears glasses. And that don't make it, but his arms aren't as big. He looks literally like a nerd. And when I was watching him, I was like, "What does this guy do? Like he don't look like."
He does the flag.
What he does, he only does one event. I guess the way it works, you can have X amount of members on the team to compete in all the different events for the
Right.
team. He specializes. All he does is one event, and it's the pommel horse or whatever. Amazing. Takes his glasses off when he
I
goes
like
on
the
there,
pommel horse.
and
Oh,
when
I
he
saw
takes
him.
his glasses off, he's got looks like his right eye is like.
It looks like sketch a little bit.
Yeah,
Why are
he's like look squinting, and then he got out there and absolutely dominated that thing, and then got off.
Like
What-
why,
did he get
why
gold?
are the
I don't know.
Oh, that was a team.
The
It was a
team
team.
got bronze, yeah, and that was the first. I think that's the best medal the men's Olympics has ever gotten. The highest.
are the girls gymnast and the boys gymnast events different?
Yes,
Like, you
the girls
never
don't
see
do the
the-
rings.
Yeah, and you never see the guys do like floor routines.
I think they do floor routines. The guys don't do the balance beam. I don't think.
Yeah, right.
The girls do. The guys do the rings. The girls don't.
There was a-
I don't know if they both do uneven bars.
I like the one, and I don't know if it's. I
And
like
guys
it
don't do the
because
pommel horse.
It's
girls don't.
big time, and like all over U.S. Olympics is. I like where they run and they hit that spring.
Yeah.
What's that thing called?
Vault.
The vault.
Yeah.
Look at you. I'm just a
That's
gymnast guy.
it.
Gymnast.
I like it.
So it's time
That
for our
and
break.
wrestling. August 5th, wrestling starts.
That's intense.
It's time for our last commercial break right here. On the other side of it, we'll continue to talk a little bit Olympics, and I got a question for the guys to see where they stand on it. So y'all stay with us. We will be right back.
Bank of Dudley is proud to sponsor the Big Ugly Sports Show. Wherever you're listening to your favorite sports show, you can also be banking with your favorite bank. Bank of Dudley offers mobile and online banking platforms to make managing your money easy. Get on that Bank of Dudley bus. Beep. Bank of Dudley since 1905, member FDIC.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Big Ugly Sports Show. We are talking all things Olympics right now. Before I pose my question to you, I did, before Law had to chime in, which he led to some good conversation, but update on the medal count. So as it stands right now, we'll start with who leading in gold medals. The People's Republic of China
What?
and Japan both are tied for first with 7 gold medals. France and Australia are tied for, I guess, third with 6 gold medals. The Republic of Korea is in 5th with 5, and the United States has 4 gold medals. However, medal count.
We always dominate.
Medal count. USA has 26 overall, and the next is France, who has 19. So USA has 11 silver and 11 bronze. So at the end of it, I guess, is it total medal count that everybody celebrates, or is it the most golds? Like, how
Used
does
to
that?
the Courier Herald. I always had to say that slow.
Kerr.
In the top right corner of the paper, it would do the medal count, and that was just.
Do they still do it, or you don't?
They always did total medals, though. I don't remember them doing the golds.
Well, I
feel like total. I mean,
seems like when I was a kid, I always preferred whichever one we were winning. If it was gold
So total
medals,
it is.
oh yeah, that's the most important. If it was total, yeah, that's the one that we need.
but there's still so much left. Like you said, wrestling, track and field hadn't started. I didn't realize there was. But I just saw this a while ago because of the ESPN headline. I didn't realize there was 3-on-3 Olympic basketball.
Yeah,
I don't
And
know
the
that.
USA's got Jimmer
Did they play
Fredette.
half court?
Jimmer Fredette's playing. They lost to like Serbia last night. They must play because the score ended up being like 22-14 or something like that.
Right.
So, which poses me my Olympic question for you guys. And
would love to see horse as an event.
Who's the leader? Who you think the
Just shooting
leader
horse.
of
Just shooting horse.
the men's basketball team is?
It's LeBron.
You think?
Yeah, it has been through the beginning. KD
KD come in at 21 points after the.
That's the first time in his career in any event that he's had 20 plus points in a game without missing a shot.
Right.
He was 8 for 8 from the field.
They were getting smoked until he come in.
No, they were winning most of the game. It was pretty tight, but they expanded their lead. You talking about against Serbia?
Yeah, I think the first half I thought we were losing by like 20.
They were up at halftime because KD hit a buzzer beater to go up. They weren't winning as big as they should have at the beginning. It was close, and then they ended up pulling away at the end. But now I think they've got South Sudan, which is the team that in the trials or whatever they gave them a little scare.
Joker playing?
Yeah,
For his country? What country does he play for?
Serbia.
Serbia.
They beat,
So that's who they were.
Yeah, but my question for you, and the answer cannot be for you guys, it can't be wrestling, and for me, it can't be basketball, because those are our respective sports that we are, I guess you would consider the most knowledgeable of. What Olympic event do you think you would be most competitive in? Now, I'm obviously not competing. You wouldn't win. I'm saying of any of the events, which one would be your best event outside of wrestling and basketball?
I think one of the shooting events. I didn't even know they had. There's some kind of almost like a
rifle
skeet shooting event. That one of the guys in our meeting yesterday at the school, he was talking about that's one of his favorite things to watch, like the bow and arrow competition. And I'm not very good with a bow and arrow, but the skeet shooting and the target shooting,
Think you tear that up?
I think I'd tear that up.
I want to say, is javelin one?
I guess they still do that track and field, yeah.
But I think it's part
When I
of
was a
like
kid,
the triathlon.
I used to fashion a spear.
This is a triathlon. It's not part of the triathlon.
How about this?
Swim, running,
Sherry
and bike.
Johnson.
This dude said javelin.
Loyal listener, Danny Johnson and Sherry Johnson.
He didn't hear anything I just said.
No,
he didn't.
So Sherry Johnson told me yesterday the triathlon is 3 events. What 3 events? Swimming, biking, and running.
You just found out trial was 3?
No, stupid. I was asking what 3 events.
Oh, okay. Yes,
See
that's
if
it.
y'all knew, but I just told you the 3 events.
Yeah, but I wasn't asking.
Not in the Olympics this year. They're not doing swimming.
Has Sherry done triathlete, like triathlons?
That's part of their not. Wow.
They turned it into a biathlon because she said they can't swim in the Seine River. I believe it's the Seine River that goes through France because it's polluted. So polluted.
Okay. That's
and
good.
so they're not letting them do
It's a
this.
good nugget to know. Yeah, I didn't know
Is
that.
what she said. She said
Seems like you shouldn't be able to host if you can't have, a place to.
what they was supposed to be cleaned up by Olympic time, and I don't think they got it cleaned up
Well, they could always replace the third event with javelin.
or move.
You remember
move
the time the Olympics were in Georgia and Jeff Foxworthy had a bit about them doing the kayaking or whatever down the same river they filmed the movie Deliverance.
They did do the kayaking up in North Georgia.
Yeah, that's why he had that bid, I'm sure. Anyway.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
You see what we were talking about earlier in the show, how they try to big time me because they think they're better than me.
It's just sometimes, and we use the term often. I've heard it a lot lately for some reason.
And I've noticed where Adam does it. The more Chill does it. Hightower don't do it as much unless Chill starts in on it. But when he starts, then Adam.
Well, I've heard it a lot. Opie said it the other day. I've heard Dr. Hall say it to me. I've heard the term low hanging fruit lately, and sometimes stuff he says, like the javelin being part of the triathlon, and then naming the 3 events. It's just low hanging fruit that you can't help but.
I didn't say the javelin's part of the.
You said I think it's part of the triathlon. That's exactly what you said.
I didn't.
That's a good thing. It's just you people that are listening. Y'all make sure you let
I'm
know.
gonna rewind it back. I'll listen to that,
and you'll be surprised. All right. So javelin's your event height?
Yeah, I'll go javelin.
Okay. I think I'm going ping pong. Back in my head,
I've seen you.
What?
Yes, sir. He's pretty
like those people.
No,
I'd be the thing. Did you not? Do you think you would be able to shoot like those people?
Yes.
Well, you got to remember now, he's a trained killer.
You think right now you'd be able to compete in the Olympics and actually be
4
competitive?
4 years Marine Corps train. First of all, in the last Olympics, I believe the guy that won was a former Marine. First of all,
probably
4
so.
years expert rifleman in the Marine Corps.
What are the levels
on the rifle range and the pistol range, which you tried to get me to go to? I went to the pistol range with you. Would have smoked your draws.
I'm not good at it.
Hey,
yeah, I mean, but I'm not competing in the Olympics.
What are the levels of
this mug missing the whole board?
What are the levels of marksmanship with a rifle? You said expert,
marksman, sharpshooter. No, I did sharpshooters middle and marksman's you just barely qualified.
So expert,
you got to be one of the three.
Is expert the best?
Everybody in the Marine Corps is a trained rifleman.
Is it expert the highest?
Expert's the highest.
That's what you got.
All 4 years. Never shot below that.
First off, thank you for your service. And I do believe that you are and were an expert rifleman, shooter, whatever. However,
smoke your draw.
You would, no doubt. These people in the Olympics are the best in the world at doing it. You would not be competitive.
Yes.
I love your confidence, Law.
But he really believes it.
But he does believe that. So let me ask you right now. Let me ask you this. Can I ask you? Hold on. Why did you not try out for the Olympics?
We got a gold medalist sitting at our table.
I didn't even know there was an event till yesterday. I didn't even know there was an event in the Olympics.
So in 2028,
I will fill out the paperwork.
I might go into it next year. Might get into it.
So what?
What are you laughing and giggling?
Because you actually think that you would be competitive in the Olympics, the best in the world at it. Yeah. Just because you can shoot some skeet.
I would love to see you come home with a gold medal SIG. You'd be on the
I'd be biting it in front of you like.
He'd be standing on that platform, just lifting a SIG.
That'd be his only stipulation. He's got to have one while he fires.
Yeah.
Hitting one of these was in the 70s when they were doing that.
All right, go ahead and be brainstorming that title of the show based around that. Okay.
What you think?
That's hilarious.
Law the Olympic gold medalist. There's your title.
There it is.
There's your title, right?
And ladies and gentlemen, he believes.
Unlike you. First of all, you beat us in ping pong. Maybe
it'd be the most fun to be competitive.
The Chinese dudes, they'd be like Forrest Gump and you out there.
They would, but you missed the question. I said, what would be most competitive? I didn't say I wouldn't beat any of them.
He said, he prefaced it. He said, we know that none of us would ever be any good at it.
I was wrong at that.
But you forgot who was sitting at the table.
This chubster, anything he's got to move around a whole lot, exactly. You're not going to be very competitive.
I know my strengths.
If they put cornhole in the Olympics, he might could win at cornhole.
It probably is in the Olympics. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Yeah. So, anyhow.
By the way, the August 5th again when the wrestling starts, the U.S. has got a lot in freestyle. A lot of guys very likely win the gold on that.
Love to see it.
Will you actually watch some of that? Like you'll dial in some up?
I don't really like
unveil.
I don't really like Greco, but I like freestyle
for the Big Ugly Sports.
Yeah, so we can do that now. This will be. We're 44 minutes into the show. This will be for the 8 people that are still listening. We greatly appreciate you. You get privy to the first. It's 8, less than 8, 2, 1. Definitely.
One person. Hey, for the one loyal listener that
Spanky,
listens to the
Spanky, Mr. Waldrop,
Tate King still listening. But
Tate, Ray. I'll go 8.
AJ Mathis.
Ryan's probably still listening.
Savage, he's in there. We'll go 8. We'll go 8 or 9. Anyhow, we with my schedule changing and me having to take my son to daycare in the mornings, it was going to be almost physically impossible for us to have the show out here at the Bend because it's so far from my house and blah blah blah. And we already start the show early enough in the mornings. You know,
we have to accommodate Chuck
yeah, well,
best we can.
If I knew we could start the show at 5:30, it would be possible. However,
that's a direct jab at me. So,
we can't always count on that. So, circling back to the face of Bank of Dudley, Mr. Cruz, he has graciously offered us to have the podcast at his home in his shop out back going forward, which is a lot closer for all of us, and it'll allow me time to do that. So I think beginning next week, we're going to try and host at Cruz's house, and this is going to be when Jay finds this out. We'll see if Jay's listening. He's going to be upset about it. Jay complains about us being out here all the time, but he loves the idea of us being out here, even though he don't come. And he's going to say he was just about to start coming. You know, he's going to give us all that.
Sure.
And we could not be more grateful for the Bend.
We've enjoyed our time here.
It's been amazing. And this might not be our last time out here. There may have events out here. This is still home with a big old sports show.
You might have a change of heart and move again.
We might. Yeah. Or,
he does buy and sell houses like underwear.
So this is very convenient. It'll help, and Mr. Cruz, we greatly appreciate that. We're looking forward to that. It'll also give us hopefully the opportunity. He said he has internet ran out there, so we may be able to stream live on Facebook like we were trying, which will help our viewership and give people a chance to listen. So be tuning in for that next week. The backdrop, will never look this cool. We've got pretty good setup in here, but we're going to do the best we can with it.
So you need to take some time and get all this stuff packed up, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be me. It'll be me, no doubt.
I mean, you have a lot of free time as an administrator. We're actually teachers. We work.
That's true. That's fair. I've seen Adam working hard, so I know what that looks like.
I have been working hard.
I didn't say I was.
I'm sure most people thought that was a smart aleck comment.
It was not.
Ask Shelby if she's going to be my new pep pro this year.
I sure will.
No, I already asked her. She said, "I'm a teacher." I said, "Well, Chuck thinks he's a teacher too, but he was my pep pro."
So we are excited about the new location. So be tuned in for that next week. We may even try to go live next week. Just got to have us, me and you, Height, as co-owners of the Big O Sports Show. Before we go, you listen? Before we go back live, we do need to have an off-air conversation with Law about what that looks like and our inability to edit after the fact.
Yeah.
You know, once it's out, it's out.
Yeah.
You know, so we've got to have a serious conversation about that.
Dude.
I did have people reach out last week, the few that listened, and said they watched it on YouTube and they listened on the thing, and they noticed there was a
little glitch,
like a blurp in the show, kind of like where it didn't run together. And I said, yeah.
Because I said one cuss word.
Yes.
And it wasn't even that bad of a cuss word.
It was a curse word, though. So
we have
you notice
years.
that you named the loyal listeners, none of them are kids.
But there are kids that listen. And all those people have kids.
Are they? Because, I look at our viewership and I look at all the other people. Not very many kids listed.
They listen to it with their kids in the car.
You look at our viewership, you look at where do you see the people that listen?
Well, they tell me.
Okay.
It shows like eight people listen to the show. Yeah. We just named all 8.
Yeah. But I do know that Spanky's daughter,
I'm sure she's heard that word before.
They listen and watch all the time. She thinks we're celebrity. Like when I've seen her at the field, she thinks we are the Big Ugly Sports is the.
Well, she's right.
Right. So, but that's validation.
I'm waiting for a new shirt with my freaking picture on it. Is what I'm really waiting.
Well, we need some people to buy it. It'd be tough to get a shirt order for 6 people, so we'd have to pay a lot.
We gave those out, but you didn't get here on time.
I come in right after y'all.
You were late. You were late today.
So I was not late today. I come in right behind you. What are you talking about?
But you sat down. He did what? That made him late.
Well,
jeez, here we go.
He had to get one in. He had to get one in before we started.
Y'all see what I'm talking about?
He said
the name of the show should be Chuck and Hyatt or Chill and Hyatt team up on Law. That's what.
Man, this fresh air just is not sitting right with me. Let me get in there and clog these lungs up a little bit.
Couldn't make an episode without bringing up my habit.
But again,
But it's a family show.
It's not your fault. It's a disease.
And 49 minutes in, we're
not a disease.
listen.
Preference.
49 minutes in, we're the only three that are hearing this, so we're good. We're good. Everybody else is tuned out this time.
Dude,
But
it's a long show this week.
well, we do. This is 52, 53 is about where we're at. So we're actually shorter than most, but whatever you say, long.
Story of your
All right,
life.
bring us home. Great
Shorter
episode.
than
They
most.
enjoyed it.
Hey, appreciate y'all listening. Thank you for your support.
Story of your life.
Be sure to check us out on
It's all
YouTube,
about it.
Spotify, Facebook, and thebiguglysportshow.com.
Thank you to all of our sponsors. We do appreciate you for all you do. We look forward to our new facility next week. Wherever you're at today, whatever you're doing,
Get on that bus.
Swish, swish. Got the wipers on the bus going swish,